Masini, airport in my eye, Mojana, Nanum Sheku, Nada to my eye. Welcome
to Untitled Village Kitchen. This is Joanna here, your home chef, the lady who loves to cook. And I love to cook and make my cooking life enjoyable and stress-free. So if you're here, you are in a good place because I teach you how to cook Ghanaian dishes. And I give you techniques to get it right. Plus, I love my kitchen hacks. So when you watch my videos, you'll find me giving you tips, hacks, techniques to make your cooking life easy, stress-free, and above all, enjoyable. So welcome to Untitled Village Kitchen. Hello! Today we are making Kenkey or Dokuno or Komi. Okay, if you come from Ghana and you're one of those tribes, if you're Ashanti, you say Dokuno. If you're Ghana, you say Komi. Kenkey, I don't even know which language it is. Maybe it's Ewe, I'm not sure. But yes, we are making Kenkey today. And Kenkey is so simple. It's like, if you're a Ghanaian, Kenkey is like a dumpling. It's a corn or maize dumpling. And it's so simple to make. It takes, if you're making a bigger amount, it takes quite a bit of effort and time. But if it's just a small amount to enjoy at home, it's not much of a job to do. So yeah, you can give it a try at home because it's so easy to make with simple ingredients. Basically, all you need is some maize, corn. This is corn, right? Or maize flour or dough. I wouldn't say flour because this is it's a bit moist and it has been fermented. So this is it, and you get it from any good Ghanaian shop, or if you can find Indian head flour, you can just make this out of it. I'll bring that to you one day very soon. But if you want to get this, just any good Ghanaian shop available where you are, or any African store, you can find this. So it's the same thing I've got in my other bowl here. And I've got some corn husk. This you would also find in a Ghanaian shop, if you, or an African shop if you're in America. You know, the Mexicans, I think no, I think you do find it in some shops, you know, for Mexican food. So any Mexican kind of shop that stocks will definitely stock this. So yes, go through their shop and go through their aisles, find out from them, you get this. If you don't have this too, some people use plastic bags as an alternative, but that's not my preference really. And we need some water, and that is all. Okay, so simple ingredients to make Kenkey. So let's get cooking. Yes. Okay, so in making Kenkey, you make something we call a flatter, which is a cooked kind of dough, but it's not fully cooked. Like when you're making you can make corn porridge or banku, but you don't get it cooked fully like when you're making banku. So, and after that, you add in a bit of the raw dough. And the formula I use is 1 part of my corn dough to make the flatter, and then 1 part to also mix in. So same quantities at the start, and then mixing the same quantity of the raw dough into it. Alright, so before we go ahead to make the flatter, you have to soak your corn husk in water for some good couple of hours, or maybe at least 30 minutes, to help it soften up, so that when you are molding the dough, it is much easier. So I've got my water also in here, and this is the bit I'm going to use for my flatter. So I haven't broken this up. When you buy the corn dough in from the bag, when you pour it out, it looks this, you know, crumbly, and some of you have big lumps in there. So you just have to press it through your palms or your fingertips to help it break up, and so that you don't have the lumps. So that's what I did here. So it's all broken up and it's much nicer and smooth. So to this part, you add your measured water to it. So I'm just adding in my measured water. For the full recipe, please go to my channel website, www.aftervillagekitchen.com. You'll find the full recipe there. So once you add the water, you just want to make sure you press out all the lumps. Your solution or mixture is lump free. So use your hands. If you can use your wooden spoon, but using your fingers helps you to have a feel of this, and you know that you have no lumps in it. So I've transferred my mixture into my pot and I've started cooking. You need to stir in one direction so that you don't have lumps in it. And you need to keep going. You need to keep going. If you don't keep an eye on it, it may get lumpy. So you keep going, and this stage is called the aflata. You're making the aflata stage until it starts to thicken up, and then I'll show you what you do. So as you can see, it has started forming the lumps. Don't panic, just keep stirring in one direction. Keep on stirring, and you now start to press it against the back of your pot. Lower the heat if you need to, so you can easily manage it. So this is just like making banku, but you don't get it to cook really well. So as soon as it's this, you don't want it to cook any further. So I'm using a non-stick pot, so it has come away from the sides of the pot, and this is about enough, because if I continue to cook, it is going to cook really well and turn into banku, which I don't want. I just want it just about cooked, but not cooked. So this is what I want, the stage that you want. Not cooked fully, but it has turned into a dough, right? So once you have this, basically you want it to cool down, and then it will be time to add in the uncooked dough. But right now it has to cool down first. Right, so it's now time to add in the uncooked dough. So you can use your hand to mix it in. It's still a bit warm, but manageable. It's easier to use your hand, so by all means use your hand. If you're not comfortable with that, use a wooden spoon or anything that would help you. Okay, so you mix that in. A little bit at a time. Right, so guys, I've transferred my aflata or the Kenkey dough in here so that it's nice and easy to see. And this is the point where you have, you decide the kind of texture you want for your Kenkey. So this kind of looks like nice and soft, the type that you want when it is done. And it is okay if you like it this way, but once it is steamed afterwards, it gets a little bit harder. That is what I have found. So for me, I want my Kenkey really nice and soft. So at this point, I add in a bit of water. And this is a measured amount of water that it works for me. So if you want my recipe, you can check it out on my website. But just add it in a bit at a time to make your dough much softer. So guys, this is basically how I want it to be nice and soft. And we are now ready to mold it into a husk. So for this, I'm going to divide it into about 2 bowls. It's always a good idea to kind of divide it into portions beforehand, so you know how much you're having for each bowl, so you divide it equally. So yeah, I think for this I'm going to have 2 big bowls. Alright, so with your big bowls, this is how you do it. You get some couple of sheets like that, spread it out. Okay, spread it out in your palm and take your bowl of dough, put it in here, and basically you want to cover it up so that it's all nice and covered, so you get more layers of corn husk to help you cover it. So there you go. So it's all nice and covered all around. And basically this is how to mold it nicely into a bowl. You start pressing it, give it a bit of a pressure down here, and you use your hand to kind of mold it on this side. So now you start to twist the end. You put a bit of pressure, and then you twist the end, and as you turn it around, just toss it around in your palm to help keep the shape. And now it has been twisted. Once you leave it, it will undo. So you twist it and you find a space, right, to tuck it in. So you tuck it in there and you cover it. You want to cover it so that it's nicely sealed, and just shape it up nicely. And this is it, your Kenkey bowl ready. So I'll put it in my steamer here, and I'll get this also done. So we are about to start steaming our Kenkey, and what you do is you put some of the leaves at the bottom of your pot to help with the steaming. So I'll put some couple in here. And basically you just add some water and you put in your balls of Kenkey and you start steaming. But I've got these steaming equipment that I got from my rice cooker, so I put that in to give it like a seat, and I'll put my steaming basket on it, so it's giving it like a proper steam. And here you go, as you can see in here. So it's ready to be steamed. So I'm going to add in some water and then start steaming. Right, so I'm adding in my water. It goes at the bottom because I've got holes underneath this steaming basket. Everything will just drain down, so no issues. But it's a steaming method, so you basically put the water at the bottom and your Kenkey is on the top and you steam. So I'll just cover this and let it steam. It will take about 45 minutes to an hour for it to cook. So our Kenkey has been steaming for about 30 minutes, and I'm checking to make sure there's enough water at the bottom. So you give it a slight twirl. I think I need to add a bit more water if my Kenkey is not done. And you can take it's hot, so you need to be careful. But let me just, you take a peep, right? You want to make sure it's nice and cooked. So you see, can you see that? It's almost there. I'll just give it like another 10-15 minutes to make sure that it's nice and cooked. But in the meantime, I'll top up the water so that it doesn't burn at the bottom. So topping up the water so that it doesn't burn at the bottom, because I'm giving it some couple of minutes for it to cook. And whilst that is going on, I'm just going to turn it around so you have the other side also cooked beautifully. And your kenkey is almost done. It's hot, so you need to be careful, okay? If you're not confident doing this with your hand, don't. So our kenkey is almost done. Just look at it. It's done. But I'm just giving it some couple of minutes, and that's it. Here is our kenkey ready. It's hot, so you need to be really careful. So just look at that. Isn't that any the kind of kenkey you'd want? And it's nice and soft, that soft type. Just the way I like it. So it's ready to serve with your fish, your okra stew, soup, palm nut soup, groundnut soup, anything, that hot pepper with tilapia. Just fantastic. To store it up, just let it cool down, completely cool down. You can refrigerate it for a shorter storage, or even freeze it for a longer storage. And when you want to eat it, just get it out of the freezer, defrost, and warm it up. Put it back in some boiling water, boil it for some couple of minutes until it's nice and soft, or use your microwave to soften it up. And there you have it, your kenkey.
To make our nation better.